school.
All right, who didn't answer?
Beau.
Oh, God, I do. I'll probably get really trash for this, but I have to admit, even though I got so much wrong, I have a really soft spot for Hitchhiker's Guide.
Oh, wow.
I know.
It was
See? And I knew I'm the only one who answered the question honestly, and all of you guys hated it.
You're the only one who answered it accurately.
Yes.
I laid my shit on the line with the prequels. Is there okay?
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
he did that.
I really thought I loved Sam Rockwell's Zaphod, and that was the saving grace of the movie for it. And I think it was relatively well cast. I just
Whoa.
with it now. I thought, whoa,
I was so gonna let it go.
Whoa.
I was gonna walk away, and you had to say that.
Break the wrist. walk away.
Niagara Falls. Slowly I turned, step by step.
Most Def is not my version of Ford at all from reading those books, but I liked what he did. I like Most Def a lot, and I think he did a good. I think he did a good interpretation of the role that he was given.
The role he auditioned
and
for.
I was a little bit brokenhearted for it because Ford's my favorite character. I'm really, really, really surprised that I liked this movie at all, but I did. I liked it quite a bit.
My whole thing about the movie is like, okay, I love these books. I adore these books, and I know you do too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I reread Hitchhiker's Guide, at least twice a week.
And I'm, watching this going, okay, I can see how people would like this because their brains could fill in the blanks where the jokes stop in the movie, but they remember how it ended from the books.
If I remember correctly, Cyrus, your direct quote was, "It is an abortion."
It is an abortion, totally. That's the whole problem, is that these people who didn't get the books at all, they made it like it's a Cliff Notes for people who have read the books 1,000 times, really. Or people who, only thing they need from comedy is some goofball going, and throwing, like, juggling.
Yes,
and
that's pretty much my hallmark for what makes a comedy
No,
for me.
but
anyway.
No, but your thing was that I think you were one of those people, you filled in the blanks in your head.
Yeah, more
you
than
finished
likely.
the jokes in your head. Thing is, in the movie,
He does that a lot.
none of the jokes are finished.
And I often have to with
They
you, Jason.
start the jokes and don't finish them, or they just tell the punchline and there's no lead up. It's a mystifying to me why anyone who hasn't read the books liked those movies at all.
I haven't, and I thought it was all right. I thought it was an okay flick.
You haven't read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the... All right, that's
No,
it.
I don't read anything
it's
but
funny
the
because-
backs
You know how
of
many
DVD
cards I'm
covers.
revoking for?
I know. I
League?
feel like this 10th League is going to be our last.
We're now...
We're not going to make it through
We're
this.
outing so many people. As
We're
now.
now
Oh, the
casting
breaking
for
of
a
the
new
fellowship.
Leog member. All right, well, Jay asks, I don't know if you guys watch it or not, but what's your opinion of Entourage on HBO? Jay, quite frankly, this is one of my favorite live-action TV shows that there is, and I couldn't be more surprised because it's kind of Sex in the City for guys in a weird sort of way, and I don't like any of these guys. Like, if I met any of them in real life, I'd probably hate them, but
Probably
I
so.
cannot stop watching this show.
You know what? I always think that too. Like, I wouldn't like any of these guys in real life, but I think I'd like Turtle.
Yeah,
He wouldn't be my best friend, but I'd like him.
well, you'd be too stoned to know the difference.
No, that's true. That's true. He is a pothead, and I'm not into pot.
I'm sorry. I like E. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Well,
No. I think E is likable in comparison to everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He
No,
is,
I get you.
he's
Yeah.
like those guys that if you took him out of L.A.,
He'd be your
a great guy.
hot-headed Irish friend who'd like get mad too quickly.
Wait a minute. I'm that guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go.
And thus it comes full circle.
They actually refer to E as Vincent's little friend.
So for those of you who haven't seen it, Entourage, it is an HBO series. It's gone 4 seasons so far. It's loosely based on, supposedly, the experiences of Mark Wahlberg,
Who's the executive producer of the show?
Executive producer, and I think he even wrote the first episode.
Did he?
could
I wouldn't be surprised.
I could be wrong about that, but I
Okay.
know that they're based on experiences he had early on in his career when he had that sort of big overnight, oh my God, here's this tiny little celebrity who suddenly turned into this huge celebrity.
Which actually, in his case was being in a band called the Funky Bunch, but
Well, no. They're actually not even talking about. They're talking about like Boogie Nights. Like when that happened.
I know.
And so,
so Queens Boulevard is Boogie Nights?
yeah, for all extents and purposes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Except without the Big Johnson.
yeah, except without the big jump.
Without the big clay penis at the end.
Yeah, which for those who don't know, not Mark Wahlberg's actual penis.
It was Leon's, actually. Leon needed the work.
The hardest thing
It was left over from the Crying Game. Spoiler! Spoiler alert! Spoiler!
Oh, calm down, Predator.
I gotta say that, like, I'm a huge fan of the first season.
Yeah.
And I think it was the second season that I absolutely loved. I thought was the best season of all, except for the ending. Like, the season finale was exactly like the season finale from the first season. It's the only thing I didn't like. Third season, I thought they started to kind of lose it. And in the fourth season, I thought they started to get it back. Sorta, not really. But the thing about the fourth season is that it ends in a way that's completely different from all the others. Because the whole time you watch this show, you got 4 20-something kind of dumbasses who are given the world on a silver platter. You keep expecting them to fuck it up. And somehow they keep pulling it out. They keep pulling it out. And at the very end of the fourth season, they don't pull it out.
Yeah.
It crashes and
It's
burns.
the first ever season that doesn't end on a happy note.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's too damn long between seasons.
Yeah.
It just kills me. I mean, you said Entourage, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so good.
I used to watch that.
I really liked the first 2 seasons, and then it went into one of those gaps. And, you know, at the point, I was just watching stuff on DVD. I didn't have HBO. So, yeah, I haven't seen the last 2 seasons. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't felt like I was missing anything. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. They're really fun. And I like the fact that unlike every other drama and comedy on HBO, it's only 30 minutes. It's just, you know, you can sit down and you can watch, you know, one of the DVDs when it comes in the mail in like, you know, an hour and a half.
Well,
so
that's the thing.
nice.
It was one of those shows that, like, being only 30 minutes, it would end, and you'd be sitting there wanting more. Like, no, come on, just 10 more minutes, please.
Exactly.
It's not laugh out loud, hilarious, funny, and it's not like deep, compelling drama, but it's still so damn fun and enjoyable.
It really is, you know, as Cyrus said, it's Sex in the City for guys. You know, it's like
It's about that question. What happens to you and your group of friends? You know, you're the one guy who gets famous, like Leon and me, and we take Beau and Jason along,
And we
for
have
the
you
ride.
lampreys along
Hey,
with
Jason,
us.
I'm leaving. How about you?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say lampreys. Remoras, thank you.
Remoras.
And you take your horrible, horrible parasitical friends along with you to continue sucking on your
So
life.
I'm Johnny Drama. That's
Shut up! Here's a Matchbox Ferrari.
yeah, right. Look for Jason on Viking Quest.
Well, it's funny, Jason.
Yeah, hey man, you can call me your entourage all you want. Buy me a house, bitch.
Well, Jason, it's funny you bring up, like, you know, like how long it's taken between, you know, seasons, but they ran the third and the fourth season back to back.
Did they?
Yes, they did. I only imagine because HBO was like, oh wow, we have a huge gap. We didn't expect to cancel John from Cincinnati quite so quickly.
John from Cincinnati.
Wow.
The series for rambling schizophrenics.
Can't believe we canceled Deadwood, a show that people loved.
The new season starts in September 7th.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
September 7th.
Oh, right on.
Apparently, Mark Wahlberg is making an appearance. In this
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg will be appearing a couple times.
Yeah, and I know
Here's
you're
the
all
bad
on
news.
the balls of your heels for that one.
Here's the bad news:
what's the
Dom is coming back.
Oh, I hated Dom.
Everyone hates Dom. Dom was this big jackass who they honestly thought that people were going to love, and he was supposed to be a regular member of the show, and people hated him so much.
Yeah, he was the big, hulking, intimidating, bald friend, douchebag friend that everybody hated, but Vinny kept sticking up for him, and he ended up stealing that Shrek action figure from the producer.
So the rumor is
he was
there's
annoying.
some rumor that they're going to bring him back with terminal cancer or something.
Good.
Like something like where people will like him because of
No,
like
I won't like
empathy.
him.
No, I'll be like, die. You can't die fast enough.
No,
We hate you.
exactly. He could save several children from a burning building
At this
and
point.
burn on the way out. And I'll be like, well, that's what you sort of deserve.
He was the guy in the Scorsese movie where you're like, he's gonna get whacked. I just can't fucking wait.
Yeah, he's Mo Green.
Yeah. There's a lot of people coming back. Sloane is coming back this
I love
season,
Sloane.
who I really liked a lot.
That chick is hot.
Lil Bow Wow, or just Bow Wow now, is playing Eric's new client, who's a comedian, not a musician.
Oh, this sounds bad.
Jamie Lynn Sigler, I don't know who that is.
No, she's mezzo soprano.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
She's playing herself.
Who has grown up into quite a woman.
She's going to be in a 3-episode arc, apparently a boyfriend to one of the characters.
Sure.
Gee, I wonder
to one of the
who.
characters?
Or girlfriend.
There we go.
Yeah, beer.
It'd be more interesting if it was a
Any
boyfriend.
chance James Gandolfini will play her father? Because that would set up a great dramatic tension.
That would bring it full circle there, yes, indeed. And then maybe we would actually get an ending to The Sopranos.
No.
You did get an ending, bitches. You just didn't like it.
No, we didn't. There was no ending.
Darblade 87, Darblade, I have no idea what that means, but Darblade 87 asks, as we all know, Venture Brothers is a kick-ass show. But which episode for you is the episode you knew the show was going to be kick-ass?
Okay.
I call dibs.
All right, go for it.
Oh, damn.
It's the yard sale episode. That was the one where I was just like, and it was the line from the Monarch when he's talking to Dr. Girlfriend, going like, "Look, the guy from Depeche Mode is over there, and he's got a girl." No, that can't possibly trade you. I know. I thought he was gay. He's in Depeche Mode, for Christ's sakes.
That was one of my favorites.
That just got me because they went beyond the scope of Johnny Quest and even fandom in general, and just started reaching out and taking a pot shot. And I was like, that's awesome.
Venture Brothers
this
isn't one of those shows that you can watch one episode and make up your mind about. It's just not.
I actually did.
Except for Leon.
It took me a couple of times.
I'm watching Adult Swim, and it comes on, and I'm like, wow, it's so cool. A kind of a twisted parody of Johnny Quest. I really dug that show. And the next episode I thought was pretty good. However, I believe it's the 3rd episode where they go to Brisbee Land.
Yeah.
And that was the one where I was like, oh my God, this
It's
show
polar
is so
bear
much
milk.
better. Yeah.
I got it from David Bowie.
Yes, the David Bowie references in the 3rd episode. I mean, and Molotov cocktail shows up in that one, and that was when I was sold.
The David Bowie references, which never end on the Venture Brothers.
But no, when we get to the 4th episode, now this is the one for me where it's totally popped. The first 10 minutes, the opening sequence is all about referencing lines pulled out of David Bowie's songs.
Yes.
And then you got the Pirates of the Sargasso, and that pirate to me, I'm so glad they brought him back.
It's the best David Bowie reference, and then they completely do the Scooby-Doo thing.
Oh, the Scooby-Doo thing.
Beyond any...
And the back and forth between Brock Sampson and Hank Venture is just the best.
All right,
the best.
Hank, if there's ever a time I needed you to not be Hank, it's right now.
Hank, where do you get
There's
this
a spot
stuff?
on the back of his neck.
I never see you
That's
read.
the sweet spot.
What is it? It's like you're channeling dead crazy people.
that's it. That's the line.
Yes.
That's the best
Yeah,
line.
that was the best one. God, where do you get this stuff? I hate, God knows how I hate to stretch out the orgasm metaphor, but there's a saying that, guys are like, we're like alarm clocks. We just go off. Whereas women are like irons. You have to plug them in and warm them up a while. And that's what the Venture Brothers is. I mean,
sometimes they leave horrible scars.
And
if you
sometimes they leave horrible scars that never go away and still burn to this very day.
Jordan Cobb asks, "Hey, you classy men at Leog, I have a 2-part question. Who do you guys think should be the villain to team up with Lex Luthor in the
Penguin.
sequel to Superman Returns?"
I don't even want to... go ahead. Sorry.
No,
I don't even want to see Lex Luthor again in a movie for another 15 years. I'm
Toy Man.
done with Lex Luthor, and you're wrong. It's Brainiac.
Toy Man.
Brainiac.
No,
No,
Jordan Cobb says
actually,
too,
what
Brainiac.
I would love to see is who's the cowboy guy? I love Terra Man.
Terra Man?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm a Mr. Minzelblick guy myself, but that's just me.
That's Mixius Pitalik.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I went on dictionary.com and it said, no, it's Minzelblick.
Hey Leon, do you want to go grab a beer with me somewhere while these
You know what? The thing is, I could forgive him because it gets pronounced both ways.
There are two pronunciations, and I
mean, Mixed Spitlick is
Mixed Spitlick and
is the
Mixed
real-
Spitlick.
Are we actually arguing about the pronunciation of an unpronounceable word?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, okay, so Brainiac. No more Lex Luthor. I'm sick of Lex Luthor and Kryptonite. It's like, yeah.
Okay, next week we're going to be talking about Action Comics and what's going on right now, and some stuff that's going on with Brainiac that Leon turned me on to, and the first time made me go, "Holy shit, this guy is awesome!
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a great villain." But I'm not going to get into that past that so much.
You didn't watch the animated series at all.
The thing
No,
is,
I did
I have to 100% agree with Jason. I would, as much as I would love to see Kevin Spacey really come in and do a Lex Luthor that's not based on the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor, I'm ready to see Brainiac. And it'd be all about Brainiac. And yeah, as Beau points out, if you watch the animated series, they really tie Brainiac into the destruction of Krypton.
Yeah.
And a lot of things. I mean, there's so many places you can go with Brainiac. There's so many other Superman villains they could pull into it. You know, Metallo and the Parasite. But ultimately, Brainiac's the guy I'd want to see.
Bizarro.
I really think if it's not Brainiac, it really has to be Bizarro. But you
Not
can't,
for a whole
you
movie.
can't do Bizarro as the one-off villain.
Right.
It's about Nuclear Man.
You've got to have. He
died.
Shut
Go
the
fuck
hell
yourself.
up.
Nuclear
What about
Man
Richard
died.
Pryor? Have him fight Richard Pryor.
I want him to fight William Shatner.
I wanted to fight Abraham Lincoln.
You know,
Scrawny guys fight till they're burger.
it's funny because the way
help me,
the way
Spock.
I used to quote that all the time.
Ooh, that's great. Ooh, if he can fight Sarek. A young Sarek versus Superman. There's a movie for you. Take that, you lucky
But
fanboys.
who would win, Thor or Superman?
Oh,
Who would win, Thor or Predator? Who would win, Galactus or the Human Torch? No.
Yeah, or the Anti-Monitor.
I don't know. He asked a second question, which I'm just going to answer.
Dude,
here
what's
because
with this 2-for-1 shit?
I normally don't do this, but
Did he have a coupon?
I'm saving this.
Yeah, your second answer is suck it long and hard.
I threw
there
this
we
in
go.
here because there's actually a simple answer to it. Which he asked, should Bruce Timm and the DC Animated Universe people make a DVD movie of Batman Long Halloween? And
No.
Dan
No.
Didio, I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Dan Didio.
Who's the executive vice president of DC Comics, have said that, yes, they are indeed working on a Long Halloween animated movie.
That's too bad.
Well, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, there's so many other properties I would like to see those people do.
I mean,
Exactly.
honestly, I'm a big fan of the Long Halloween, or I'm a moderate fan of it. I like it. I think it's one
You're a
of the
moderate
better
fan.
ones.
Nobody's a big fan because it's just not that good.
Okay,
It's good.
It's decent.
No,
It's decent.
Long Halloween is pretty much just an excuse to see Batman fight all of his greatest hits villains.
No,
I
Hush
can,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hush is definitely
Hush,
that.
yeah,
I mean,
Hush is,
Long
but-
Halloween justified its 12-issue run. And not that I believe that you can ever justify a 12-issue run, but it justified it in as much as it went by the months of the year.
yeah,
And so tying it into that, I'm like, okay,
but
I
there's
can
not a
forgive
lot
this.
of there's not a lot of depth there. There's certainly not the depth that New Frontier has.
No.
So
The Long Halloween and Hush are both written by Jeff Loeb.
Loeb.
It's Jeff,
who also
Loeb.
writes Heroes.
Who is a
And,
writer?
well, he's an executive producer.
He's
and
a hand writer.
He's
hand
written
writer for
some
Heroes.
episodes of
He
Heroes.
wrote big writer at season 2 of Lost.
Oh, wow.
Bad
Go figure.
season.
Oh, that's right.
He also wrote the incredible movie hits Commando
Yes.
and Teen Wolf.
And
Oh my
Teen
God.
Oh, and Teen Wolf 2.
Teen Wolf 2,
Let's
which he
not
wrote
forget
with
that.
Tim Kring, the season, the story main guy from Heroes.
Oh, and by the way, all of those movies that I mentioned are a really good reason why Jeff Loeb sucks.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
I got to say, like
That
like,
is reason enough to acquit Jeff Loeb of any wrongdoing.
Commando is to me is like it's in the
I let him
pantheon
go.
of movies that are so bad that they're
I
hilarious
know.
to
I
watch.
admit, I got a big giggle out of watching Commando. Do I want this guy writing Batman for me though?
No.
Nope.
Ultimates 3?
After
What
you
the
pissed
fuck?
on
Oh
Ultimates
my
3.
God!
What the
Mark
fuck?
Miller made one of the most talked about comics ever with the Ultimates.
Yeah.
Like really got you excited about the Avengers again.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely the
this guy
best thing
comes
in
in
the
and
art.
writes Ultimates 3 and totally torches everything.
He also went in and really fucked up Fantastic Four too, as well, didn't he?
Did he?
Wasn't it Loeb?
Yeah,
I
no, it was Loeb.
believe
He did.
so.
He's the one who
Well, hey,
screwed that
well, honestly, while you're venerating Mark Millar, he also fucked up Fantastic Four in a big way and is still doing it.
See, I haven't read any of his Fantastic Four,
but Millar does also do amazing.
He does some very good stuff.
So
Enemy of the State.
Hey, Old Man Logan, 1985, and these are his new current projects.
Yeah.
You forgive his fuck ups because for every fuck up he makes, he does something else that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Loeb, not so much.
Yeah.
The Cap asked, please would love if you talk about Marvel Ultimatum and Marvel's plans for these characters in this Ultimate Universe. Okay, now if nobody knows about the Ultimate Universe is a sort of it's a parallel universe to the Marvel Universe with all these Marvel characters. It's harder edged. It has less backstory that they have to deal with.
That's the whole point, is to make it more attractive to new readers.
Yeah, and
which, by the way, Cyrus, is the reason for all of the Infinite Crisis stuff in the DC universe, which has worked quite well, actually.
Really? Because it's worked to make me not read any of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Now I will admit, with the Final Crisis in my eyes is called Final Straw because it's like
Bravo.
which
That's how I
is
think of it.
Stop it the fuck, DC. You had it okay. Infinite Crisis, fine. Okay, great. It's good. Let's go. And
DC continuity might as well be written in Aramaic.
Yeah.
It would make just as much sense to me.
So back to Marvel.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
This ultimate,
March to Ultimatum.
This Ultimate Universe, me and Leon's favorite comic book, pretty much, is Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yes,
it's excellent. Written by Brian Michael Bendis. The first two volumes of the Ultimates, which is their version of the Avengers, written by Millar, fantastic.
Yes,
Loeb took it over and has completely fucked it up, and he is running this new, pretty much the first ever major arc through the Ultimatum universe, the first ever universe-spanning arc, and it's really scary
because it's basically a big battle axe over the neck of all of the Ultimate series.
They said we're going to kill off about half of these series, and what's
I'm like,
going
why?
on.
Exactly. And once again, I reiterate the magic words: incredibly fucking stupid idea.
No, really bad idea from a writer who has yet to prove himself to me as really doing anything that's that
well, word is
that's what I can't get is that the Ultimates is where Marvel really has been doing its best work in the last like 10 years. That's where it's really been shining and beautiful, and they have handed it over to a man who, in my opinion, with maybe the exception of Long Halloween, and my jury's still out on that.
Superman, man for all seasons.
Yeah, I think the man's a hack. A hack, pure and simple. He's definitely proved it with Ultimates 3. He's ran one of the best series in the Marvel Universe into the fucking ground, and now he's going to do it with the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. Word is they're canceling Ultimate X-Men after this whole Ultimatum thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumor about that. There's still no confirmation.
Ultimate Spider-Man is going to survive. I think we can all safely
they have
say.
said that in no uncertain terms there will be no end to Ultimate Spider-Man. Bendis has come out and said, fuck all that shit. Ultimate Spider-Man is not ending. Stop worrying about it, because that's his baby. In fact, it would be no Ultimate Universe without Ultimate Spider-Man, pretty much.
As far as I'm concerned, Brian Michael Bendis is probably the most talented writer working with Marvel right now, and they consistently piss all over him.
Yes, they do.
I was recently, like just last night, I happened to pick up the first 3 trade paperbacks of New Avengers, and I was reading that, and I was like, my God, this stuff is so good. It's so incredible. And they set up all these incredible things, and then they took Civil War and knocked all of them out.
All this brings me to our big thrust of this Leog, which is I've threatened last week, the Incredible Hulk. And partially the way Marvel pissed all over Peter David, who wrote one of the longest continual runs of any character ever for a writer.
12 years. 12 really good issues.
And then they fucked him over.
Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah. No, they said to him, no, we're going to kill Betty Ross.
Right. I know he didn't want to do that.
And we're going to make the Hulk stupid again. And this was the whole thing. What David did was he made the Hulk intelligent. He brought he merged him.
What he did was he separated the Hulk out between. He had Bruce Banner see a therapist where
he presented it as multiple personalities.
Right. He has multiple personalities.
He had a dissociative identity disorder, which was you had the Gray Hulk, you had the Green Hulk, and you had Bruce Banner, and they finally managed to get all 3 of those personalities combined.
Right, and Bruce Banner, everybody knows Bruce Banner.
And it turned out to be
the meat scientist.
Hulk.
The Green Hulk was the strongest but the stupidest, and the Gray Hulk was pretty strong, but he was kind of a dick.
Well, he was
not kind of a dick. He was very much a dick.
He was the smarmy Las Vegas guy. He was
Mr.
Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah.
It was id, ego, and super ego. for all intents and purposes.
No,
Right.
you're absolutely right,
Right.
Beau. That is exactly what.
So
it was.
then you had him combine all into one character, one very interesting, complex character.
Yeah, and then they brought the Pantheon in,
Right.
which was this fascinating.
Oh, I remember the Pantheon.
It's almost like a superpowered
Yeah.
Mensa
Yeah.
that the Hulk got to join and be the leader of.
Exactly. I mean, wow, what a totally different direction to take this character in that actually really worked.
Yeah.
And all these side characters, the way they were dealing with his sort of like, I mean, this combination of Bruce Banner, who's essentially in charge of his mind at that point, but is got this massive ego thing going on because of all this other shit happening.
Yeah.
This is actually one of the few periods where I've consistently read the Incredible Hulk for an extended length of time.
Yeah.
Was the whole Peter David Pantheon Uber Hulk
Yeah.
phase.
And it is fascinating to watch it, and then it all falls away. It all just goes away. They screwed it up, and that's been the history of the Hulk. Has been
That's
a
been
writer,
the history of Marvel lately.
That's
a
true.
writer doing something really amazing with the character, and then somebody else coming in and just wiping it out because
Yeah, we want to take it back to where it was 15 years ago when it wasn't working for us. I.e. Spider-Man and Brand New Day.
Yep.
It's this naive idea that as long as we keep our characters swaddled in Pampers and keep them the way they were in 1967, then we're going to be the baddest guys on the block. Because, boy, in 1967, Marvel was awesome. We were cutting edge. So let's just keep everybody like that. And it's like, no. You have too many people breathing down your neck. You got to keep coming up with fresh ideas, and you've got to let your characters grow. That's one of the reasons I've kind of switched over to DC as far as my favorite comic company versus the two, just because I believe that they allow their characters to grow a lot more than Marvel is allowing theirs to.
And that's the sales pitch for DC.
Hey, yeah, was it not for all the
Dan
crossovers
Didio's.
and Infinite Crisis?
I
would totally be with DC.
I absolutely agree with that. But, you've got a Superman who has been allowed to marry Lois Lane and have a real relationship.
No, and I love that.
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
I love that too.
Yeah,
I loved it about
you-
Spider-Man.
yeah.
This is why I'm so upset about them.
Exactly.
There are things I've really liked with what they've done with Batman as well. Not
Yeah.
what Grant Morrison is
No,
doing.
what Grant
with
Morrison
Batman.
is doing.
Well, we're
Oh
not
my God.
going to
We're
get
not gonna
into
talk about that?
We're not
Okay,
even
all
this
right.
week. That's
The Hulk.
All right.
That's like
All
the
right.
five.
Hulk.
Back to the Hulk. Well, anyway, hey, after Peter David left and they made the Hulk stupid, I had no reason to read it again until Bruce Jones started writing.
Ooh, I wish they'd bring back the Hulk ring and do your thing. Wouldn't that be cool?
That was
That
Thing
was
Ring.
the thing, dude.
Oh, wait, it was the
Yeah,
thing.
if you're gonna disparage, make sure you get your facts right. And Bruce Jones, like, I don't know if you guys, probably only Beau knows this, but Bruce Jones was like a major comic writer back in the mid '80s, writing a lot of sci-fi comics, mostly for Eclipse. But he was like a sci-fi writer who came and wrote comics, did a great job, and then disappeared. And so I was shocked to see him writing the Hulk. But then he had that beautiful John Romita Jr. artwork.
Oh, yeah.
And he starts writing most of these stories about, it's about Bruce Banner being on the run.
Harken back to the TV
and they're
series.
they're really beautiful. Yeah,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and a lot of